What's good? I go by Osiris. Channel's Middle MAGA. And sometimes there's tough positions that I think have to be laid down during difficult times. And this might be one of them. As we are seeing in the Middle East and Israel, some disturbing videos and footage of Hamas running up in Israel and literally gunning down citizens in the streets, in the homes, kidnapping people. Wild, wild stuff. I don't want to see anybody hurt, anybody kidnapped. That's craziness anywhere in the world. But I am America first, and that does not change. I am not going to be uploading a flag of Israel to my profile. My first thought was, there's no magical answer to this. Y'all been beefing since 1917. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Secure the border. Free the people that you've imprisoned after setting them up in J6. You thought I was going to get on the mic and say I stand with Israel? I wish y'all the best. Well, how I can stand with you is with thoughts and prayers. There's you must be out of your mind if you thought I was going to get on here and say I stand with Israel. You probably already know what's going on here. And I'm not against Israel. I'm not standing with Palestine or Hamas or any. I don't care about none of y'all. Why would I? Why? What's in it for me? To whatever that means, stand by Israel. Just looking at the latest live news, and then we'll get into a couple things I wanted to talk about with this situation. What's happening right now is crazy out there. We got conflict. We've seen Israeli tanks suiting up, getting ready, roll out. It looks like when I was playing StarCraft and I was using the Terrans and I would get a lot of tanks. This is real life though. Surreal videos. I mean, I think we've seen one thing that I know for sure. Israel's going to take that vacuum cleaner out and they're going to, watch out. Israel has a hell of an army. You bet they are going to go crazy after this. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction. And I'm not really, don't even have a take on that. I got to worry about this here. We just found out, now this group is not directly associated with Israel, but we know that they're pro-Israel, the ADL, that trains our own FBI, that our own FBI has labeled its own citizens terrorists. Is there a website I can go to see if I've been marked or labeled? That's how wild it is. So I got that to talk about. That takes priority. Not what's happening in Israel. That's their government. That's their beef. They're going to have to handle it. But, I mean, I'm just a little nobody, so who cares anyway? I'm just going to let you know how I feel. It doesn't matter, right? I'm a little nobody. So looking at it, I'm seeing an update here. Unfortunately, 300 Israelis and over 200 Palestinians killed in fighting. Palestinian militants on Saturday launched the biggest attack on Israel in years. I don't know if I've ever seen this. I mean, maybe it's happened. I just haven't been paying attention to the news. Not obviously not recently, but I'm saying years ago. I haven't looked at the historic part of this yet, like how historic. I don't remember ever seeing them rolling up and just kidnapping people like straight up like that. That's crazy. So my thought is the citizens out there, because there's going to be a lot of citizens that are going to be Palestinians that are going to get just completely eviscerated. Maybe you should have fought Hamas, because Hamas, obviously, they don't care about you. They came rolling up in and they knew they were going to roll back, fall back, hide within the civilian population, and a lot of civilians are going to get yuck, 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 yuck. That's life. It's not good. Life is savage as hell. And that kind of stuff, don't think it can't happen here. Now, we do have 2A, which I think is very important to bring up here. But we have an open border, so they're not going to do the same type of thing they're doing here. Because you do that here, people packing heat. I mean, that stuff's, you're going to have stuff raining from the rooftops. Talk about bullets. You can't run up in the shores of the United States and be doing that kind of stuff. That's just not going to work. Why? Because of 2A. If Israel is such a friend of ours, why wouldn't you tell your friend, we got this cool thing here. It's called the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. Maybe you should, I don't know, think about it for your country. Because you don't have that. So when people come rolling up through, I'm not saying it's a magic wand, but at least you got something. So when people come rolling up through, you have at least something to defend yourself with. I haven't heard now one American politician say that. Not Trump, not nobody. Wouldn't that be like obviously one of the first things to say? I'm talking about well before now. Like, okay, you're my boy, Israel, whatever. Israel has to be our boy. Okay, I don't know why, but okay. Israel has to be your boy. Okay. I don't know. Maybe give people the right to keep and bear arms before we send more money for your Iron Dome or whatever. How did the Iron Dome fail? Reportedly, it failed. How did that happen? Like, is it like a slot machine where you have to keep putting billions in or something? How much money do we have to give to you for the Iron Dome to work? Did it run out? I honestly don't know. This is when you need it. Well, I guess, you know what? I guess just send more billions. But it looks like they're going to buy it, I think. I don't know how that works. Sometimes they do stupid loans and stuff. I don't know. But from my understanding is Israel's going to buy. I don't know exactly what they need to restock or whatever. But it looked like it failed. And bombs were loose. And I think what's going to have to happen here is going to have to be just, I hate to say it, it's going to have to be mutual destruction. Because what Hamas did, that can't go unanswered, and they're going to go hellfire. I mean, this is going to be, let me see if I can find the tank clip. It's so many clips. I got like 50 clips saved, and I don't have the tank clip saved. That's great work. That's the one I was looking at the most. It's just a clip of the tanks at night. And again, when I show these videos, none of them are verified. Well, I'll tell you if they're verified, but I don't think that I think it's better to be looking at these videos, even though there's a risk that a lot of them will be inaccurate, wrong day or something like that, because you're going to get more truth. So there's a give and take here. I could go to the MSNBC feed. You want MSNBC feed? I was watching it today, but do you really want it? I don't. So we're not going to do it. So maybe I'm in the mood for that. I do want to hear what they say too, but here's the tanks I saw. This is from last night, I believe. I think this went on when I was live. No, this was today in the afternoon. So I'm showing a video. And purportedly, this video is Israel gearing up with tanks. Tanks on tanks on tanks. I don't know how many tanks this is. This is how much is one of those tanks? I mean, a lot of times they're like 5 to 10 mil a piece. Who's the contractor supplying all this stuff? They're just going straight to the bank. They're getting ready for the Cybertruck, the Plaid X, the Roadster. Just like those Ukrainians, we sent all that money over to Ukraine, and a lot of their security officials were rolling in all kinds of fancy cars. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. In fact, Hamas said they thank you. This could be a lie. Who knows? They could be doing propaganda because they know there's beef, with America and funding Ukraine. but they had stuff on video. I can't confirm if they were Ukrainian weapons, but Hamas is on video. I'm not going to show that one. I don't know. I don't even know what the rules are on YouTube. I'm not going to show that one because they're showing weapons. Nothing gory in it. There's some really gory stuff out here, but Hamas is on video thanking Ukrainians. I don't know if it's probably the Ukrainian black market. I don't know. Thanking Ukrainians for the weapons. Yikes. TNT Cycles PDX, thank you, friend of the show. Good evening, brother. Same to you. I just wanted to get some of this off my chest. I'm not an expert in the geopolitics. What I like to do is bring it back to what does it matter to me. I am open-minded. If you can convince me why I should care about Israel, then I will care about Israel. I am only married to the best idea. I've been thinking through it. I can't find a reason why I should care. Actually, I have many reasons why I really shouldn't care. So I'm trying to find reasons that I should care, but I got a bunch of reasons why I shouldn't care. So you've got to get me from the negative to the neutral and then to the positive. In an attack that has also brought the Biden administration, that has caught the Biden administration by surprise. It's not even that late. I don't know why. I feel good. It's not that late at night. In an attack that also caught the Biden administration by surprise, the militant group Hamas, I've seen people pronounce it Hamas too, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. I always thought it was Hamas. Launched a sustained barrage of thousands of rockets in a coordinated assault by land, sea, and air, and its forces crossed the Gaza border. And we saw videos on X of Israelis in the Gaza Strip, is my understanding, having to flee. Just running, literally running to their cars to get up out of there. Luke Rudkowski posted on X, Israel, U.S. arms left in Afghanistan reach Gaza. I bet Ukraine too, in my opinion. So the arms, some of the weapons that the United States left in Afghanistan potentially were used against Israelis in Gaza. What's happening? I don't know how to unpack this. It really does look like incompetence from Joe Biden. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I didn't think he was really running things. I thought it was more Obama, or not even Obama. I don't know, Susan Rice, Obama, who, I don't know who. I just didn't think he was running it. But, I mean, Israel supports Trump too. So, they just buy whoever. But Israel supports Biden, generally speaking. And he left arms in Afghanistan, and somehow they reached through Gaza. Weapons from Ukraine allegedly reached through Gaza. And we've got everyone, including Trump, talking about that $6 billion we talked about September 11th. I didn't talk about it from the standpoint of, terrorism happening anywhere, this soon. But Trump did. DeSantis did. It was... They said it at the time. This is, in September, a month ago. And then a month later, we're seeing things pop off. And this was a terrorist, it was a prisoner exchange, is my understanding. I'm not fully I didn't dig into that story. So it looked like there was some type of, exchange here to free people, is what my understanding was. And they gave $6 billion. And I don't know, my understanding is it did go there. I have a whole thread on that if I can get to it. I have a whole thread on that. But that's just to catch you up with what's going on. This is live from the Wall Street Journal. Around 300 Israelis, mostly civilians. Can you imagine that happening here? Man. Were confirmed dead and about 1,600 wounded. At least 232 Palestinians have been killed so far and more than 1,700 injured. Israeli soldiers and civilians had been captured and taken into Gaza. The Israeli military said Israeli hostages were also being held by militants in at least 2 Israeli towns. One of the darkest moments in the history of this conflict. Since Trump left office, we've seen things crumbling across the world. I can't force a coordination there, a correlation there. But that is true. Since Trump has gone, and then since then the election's stolen, the United States falling the hell apart, judicial system, everything just falling. It's more like the state level, like the states have, blue states have tried to take over, stole the election. That's when they first did the coup in America. So we've got a coup in America. We've got a fifth generational information civil war in America. Then you've got then you've got the fall of Afghanistan. You had that come through. Then you had Ukraine come through. My Lord. And then now you've got this. You can't, one thing you can say for sure, you can't say that Joe Biden has been good on the world stage. There's nothing there. You might not blame him. I don't know. I would have to put that case together. I'm not even blaming him in general on everything. Afghanistan, yeah, for sure. But Ukraine, I'm not blaming him. He doesn't get all the blame on that. But you can't say he's been good. I don't see evidence. I don't see anything from that. I would definitely not say he's good. You have to contrast global stability. Donald Trump crossed the demilitarized zone in North Korea with no security. And now you're seeing all kinds of geopolitical beef popping off everywhere in the world, pretty much. I'm not going to make a call to action to American voters. That's not, you vote how you feel with your heart. But I just don't understand it. If you're still voting Biden, I don't get it. I don't. What's the argument? What argument are you making? You like trans people? That doesn't even make sense. But I mean, if you're brainwashed kind of and that's how you feel, I guess. But abortion. That one single issue thing. I don't know.
Where the fuck are the Joe Biden supporters? I can tell y'all why I support Trump. Tell me why y'all support this motherfucker. Ain't doing shit but fucking us up every day, fucking us up. I don't see shit. Ain't nobody saying nothing. They had a whole lot of energy. When my motherfucking man president was in there. And everything that Trump did, I told you, I support him for this. I support him for that. I had to stand behind that shit. Every fucking day I had to stand behind why I supported President Trump. I don't hear no motherfucking body telling me why they support Joe Biden and all this goofy shit. Then when I asked my uncle about this shit, he say, Joe, do you think that I'm with that shit? Do you think I support that? Yes, you support it. If you vote.
Yeah, you do. And own it. You vote how you want to vote, but own what happened with your vote. Trump went ham on Joe Biden, and rightfully so. I don't blame him for this on Truth. Trump on Truth just went completely nuts on Joe Biden. He needs to go off of Truth. I understand it. I know he wants to get his own data mining thing and all that, but he'll put stuff on Truth. Then he'll maybe say it in the rally, but that's all echo chambered. And I don't see him with that same energy when he's in an interview. It's like he still wants access to these legacy outlets like Fox and CNN. And I think he needs to go DEFCON. Why would you say it on Truth, but I don't hear you say it in an interview? I need to see something. But he did, and I don't blame him. Ron DeSantis had some things to say too. Now, we know, I just covered this recently about the allegiance that Ron DeSantis has to Israel. And when I say he has an allegiance to Israel, I mean he has an allegiance to Israel.
I just want to say that today America stands with Israel against the terrorist attack that is being perpetrated by Hamas, who is backed by Iran and unfortunately funded by this American president with what he's done to Iran. It's a disgrace, and we all need to be united to say to Israel, not only do they have a right to defend themselves, they have a duty to respond to these terrorists with overwhelming force. And they'll have my support 100% as the next president of the United States. You can take that. I just want to say that today America stands with Israel.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Or why are you trying to speak for me? You don't speak for me, bro. What do you mean? I don't even know what that means. What do you mean stands by Israel? I mean, you can say, hey, it's terrible to see tragedy, but there's tragedies happening all over the world. Like, you never got a bullhorn for J6ers from your own state. All of a sudden, you got a bullhorn? Like, Laura Loomer was just at your event with the bullhorn. Now, since when does Ron DeSantis grab a megaphone? I've never seen that before. Why is his energy like this? I said that in that video with Ron DeSantis and saying, this was him running for governor, talking about being governor. As president, I can even understand it a little bit because it's international, relations, it's geopolitics. As a governor, it made no sense. He was like, I'm going to be the most pro-Israel governor. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What is a pro-Israel governor for Florida? What does that mean? I don't know what that means, Ron. And now he's got a bullhorn. He's got a bullhorn and he's trying to talk for me. Why are you talking for me? Don't talk for me.
I just want to say that today America stands with Israel.
No, I don't. What does that mean? No, I don't know what's going on over there. They got to handle that. We got ish here. I stand with America. And Israel does a lot of lobbying here. So this is what pisses me off about Israel. Not the citizens, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not for sending money over there. Money, I never was, but money, no, done. No. Don't want it. I'm not there for Israel comes here and they do all this lobbying for their secret. They're one of the highest, best spying countries in the world. The social media companies use Israeli companies to spy on you and me. And then who's with the American media companies? The FBI, the CIA, and then who are they labeling as enemy? You and me. So how am I going to stand with Israel? What does that mean? Israel's against me. They're against me. How asinine would it be for me to get on the mic and say, I stand with Israel? While they're paying off the politicians to use their spying companies and to, all that to really make legislation that doesn't help America, but helps them. It is possible they could lobby our politicians to fight for my First Amendment rights. They could do that. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. They could even do it just to placate me. They could come in, say, yeah, we want to spy on even me or whatever. And then, you know what? We want to make sure you have your First Amendment rights. So we're going to be Israeli lobbyists fighting for your free speech on social media, for example. I know it sounds crazy, but why couldn't they do that? They're here lobbying. They can lobby for whatever they want to lobby for. If they want me to care about what's happening there, that's what they would have to do. And there's no guarantee even with that. I'd have to see what it looks like. Why would I stand with that? They're against me. And the ADL is like one of the biggest. There's a bunch of groups, but the ADL is the one that we always talk about. The ADL is always in the news. And what is the ADL doing? Again, there's no official, there's supposed to be this independent NGO, basically. Not all these non-governmental organizations are actually governmental organizations, but there's no proof of that connection there. But and they have to be careful because they're a nonprofit 501, what is it, 503C or something like that. They can't be political, the ADL. And then Israel, obviously being a foreign government, they can't directly even invest dark money, PAC money, but obviously indirectly the money's flowing through. But if they want my support, they're gonna have to do something to bring me into it. Something that I care about. They couldn't give less than a damn about me. Why would I even think about their government as far as money or anything like that? Other than thoughts and prayers for their citizens, what do you want from me? I don't, help me. I'm gonna look in the chat. Somebody, am I missing something? Why would I care? Somebody in the chat help me out. Allegiance to a foreign entity is treason. F the DL, F the ADL. I'm not people are pretty much saying what I'm thinking. And DeSantis is greater than Trump. Okay, I'm not even trying to do a DeSantis versus Trump here. They are both, all of them. Name one American politician that does not get on their knees for Israel. Even the populist left, and the populist left is, I'm not, just to be clear, I don't have the same position as my friends on the populist left. A lot of them are pro-Palestine. Palestine could get a dig too. I don't care about them either. I just want to make sure that is clear. So I don't know. When I look at DeSantis and Trump, they're all pro-Israel. I mean, Trump actually has a particularly troubling position. Again, I'm not anti-Trump, and you see Trump had, much more peaceful. That's much more substantive to talk about that. But Trump does have a really troubling position with Israel and the ADL. This is a clip I've played before. Trump has, and the ADL, by their own admission, Trump is one of the most, clearly the most Israel-friendly presidents of all time. So if Trump is the most, so what are we getting in return? MAGA supports Trump. Trump is one of the most Israeli-friendly presidents ever with his approach to Israel and the Middle East. And they were effective. I know Jerry got broke off the 2 bill, and they didn't put that in his pocket. They gave it to his company to invest. His company gets fees off of it. They make some money, 25 a year, 25 million a year. I'm just throwing off 25 like it's like 25 cents. But so I know that there's a lot of other stuff in there. I'm not going to ignore that. But so MAGA supports Trump. Trump supports Israel. And what does MAGA get in this? So MAGA supports Trump. Trump supports Israel. So what the hell is this? I am not in the mood. Not in the mood. I don't want to hear politicians say America stands with who? For what? Why? When? Where? How? Ain't happening. This is the time to let them know it ain't happening. Cut out the foolishness. Cut it out. Things have gotten way out of hand. This is the same group that supports all the trans nonsense going on. Like, I don't even know. And then every Vivek, Carrie Lake, Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, even the populist left, that they kind of do this Palestinian vibing thing, which is really weird to me. Like, why are they so worried about Palestine? I don't know. But even they, when they have their Palestinian take, which they can have their take, even they get on the knees. Ilhan Omar got tons of Jewish support in her run. And she had to, mend those fences when she said a couple, whatever, silly comments. Who cares? Even they have, name one person in DC that doesn't, if there's a topic on Israel, doesn't have to get on their knees and say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And with the energy, it's so important. Ron DeSantis got the bullhorn. Ron DeSantis got a bullhorn. That's how important it is to them. Ron DeSantis wouldn't get, every single person in his state could be locked up right now and he wouldn't get a bullhorn for them. Ron DeSantis got a megaphone. He was in the streets like Black Lives Matter. What? What is, that's where his energy is. He had fervor that we've never seen from him before. I saw the megaphone. I'm like, is that Ron DeSantis with a megaphone? Why? How? Who got him to have energy with a megaphone? Israel. Israel got him that. We're watching the presidential debate, and in the chat, everybody's waiting for Nikki Haley to put on her, like right there on the stage, put on her knee pads and say, we stand with Israel. This was before any beef had popped off, and just say it for no reason. And I don't think it never happened. I was like, it's going to happen. Don't worry, guys. I don't think it happened. It was kind of awkward that it didn't. That's where they have their energy. Donald Trump got arrested in Florida. Donald Trump is a resident of Florida. So that's the state that Ron DeSantis is the governor of. The former president, running for president, resident in your state, all the madness of the previous indictments. I forgot. I don't even remember. Was that the third indictment? I think that was the third one. So there's two before it, or maybe one before it. I forget which one. And Ron DeSantis, he didn't post one thing on X that day. He didn't make any statement on X that day. Let that sink in. Now, he has made these, the vague, just like when they say there's a problem at the border, but they don't want to talk about replacement.
It is certainly true that Donald Trump
they talk about all these things in generalities. So he talks about the weaponization of the government. Okay, what does that really mean, Ron? Like it never connects to, oh, that's what this means in an authentic way, like Vivek is able to do. Ron DeSantis didn't get out his cell phone. He didn't do anything. Here he is. He's got multiple tweets on Israel today, just all over the place on his account. He rarely even uses this account.
Israel is now under attack. I stand with Israel. America stands with Israel. Not only do they
why are they speaking for me?
They have
don't speak for me. Don't do that. Maybe your supporters do. I don't know, but don't. Why? What kind of hubris does it take for somebody to say America stands with? Like, does that even sound right coming out? No matter what you want to say. Now, I will say, I generally say MAGA stands for God, family, country. I think I'm not speaking, but I do also say I don't speak for MAGA. This is what I feel. This is how, I've obviously twisted MAGA into something. I want to twist it to the Overton window to liberty and where I want it. But I'm not coming out and saying America, even the radical ideas, I include that they are legit. You can have these radical ideas.
Israel is now under attack. I stand with Israel. America stands with Israel. Not only do they have a right to defend themselves, they have a duty to defend themselves against these Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists. Iran has helped fund this war against Israel, and Joe Biden's policies that have gone easy on Iran has helped to fill their coffers. Israel is now paying the price for those policies. We're going to stand with the state of Israel. They need to root out Hamas, and we need to stand up to Iran.
And then he got the megaphone. Who's doing it? I'm gonna keep the volume off. Just think about this. Ron DeSantis has a bullhorn. What policy, what passion, what issue in America would Ron DeSantis pick up a bullhorn for? Maybe he has. I've never seen it. It looks weird. It's a good moment for him, just like because he's kind of showing his energy right at that moment. But that shows you a lot. Like, where is your passion? The speaker stuff came popping off. We seen Matt Gaetz comes out on the stage on Timcast IRL, and if you're not a member of Timcast, man, just if you can afford it for 1 month, just sign up for the month so you can see the live event. I'm not clipping that because that's behind the paywall. But Matt Gaetz gets on stage and everybody's like, USA. I mean, it's just like the passion there. There's not Ron DeSantis' take on that. He had the take that the GOP is basically the Democrat take. The GOP's in disarray because the young gun Kevin McCarthy they told him to get his stuff and get the hell up out of here like he was Martin. Get out. And Ron DeSantis is obviously young gun friendly. He acts like he's not, but we all see it. He wasn't even passionate about that. Let me look at Trump slamming Joe Biden, even though Trump's position obviously is problematic here, but it just feels like, I mean, if every politician slurps up the figurative banana of Israel, then it's kind of like a wash. It's not a deciding factor. Because you can't find a politician that has a chance, at least, that gets any type of shine, at least, that doesn't peel the banana of Israel. So it can't be a deciding factor unless you're going to be like me and write in or vote for Dr. Shiva Ayadore.
The Hamas terrorist invasion of Israeli territory, and the murder of Israeli soldiers today, and the brutal murder of citizens is an act of savagery that must and will be crushed. It has to be dealt with very powerfully. This is a time where the United States needs leadership. We don't have leadership. But Israel is at war, and the United States obviously is going to stick with Israel, and strongly. The war happened for two reasons. The United States is giving and gave to Iran $6 billion, $6 billion, over hostages. And, there was a very good trade. They got 5 hostages. We got 5 hostages. Okay, that's the good news. The bad news is, and their hostages were tough, by the way, I have to tell you. That was, okay, let's assume they're doing just fine. But it was 5 for 5. But in addition to that, we agreed to free up $6 billion. And that is an absolute disaster. And I would not be at all surprised if part of that tremendous wealth that they just accumulated went into all of a sudden watching this level of aggression. They didn't have that level of aggression with me. They didn't have it. This would have never happened with me either.
That's fair.
You know what wouldn't have happened? Ukraine wouldn't have happened.
That's all fair. That is all fair. That motherfucker right there is crazy. In a good way. That's why I talked yesterday. Laura Loomer's crazy. I like that kind of crazy. Donald Trump, I like that kind of crazy. So crazy. You heard rumors that other foreign nations were like, we didn't know what that dude was going to do.
Taiwan and all this tough talk with Taiwan wouldn't have happened. And what's going on with Israel right now? People were shocked. I wasn't shocked.
That's why China helped steal 2020, allegedly.
Because 2 weeks ago, we gave them $6 billion. Think of it. So we get 5, they get 5, but the difference is we have to give $6 billion. $6 billion! Does anyone know what a billion is?
That's a lot of...
$6 billion.
To Iran? That's a lot. That's crazy. With open borders? With our borders open, $6 billion to Iran? I mean, that's damn near paying them to do an operation to come on through the southern border.
It's like it's water. And we have now, our country is a perceived, we're really a country that's looked at with this tremendous perceived weakness with a grossly incompetent and corrupt president. He's an incompetent man. He's corrupt. I don't know if he makes it to the starting gate. I guess in a way he does. We want to, and I say it all the time.
Trump
and I
crazy.
mean it 100%. I would rather that Joe Biden right now, instead of being one of the worst presidents, and I think without question, the worst president, the most corrupt president, the most incompetent, I would rather have him be a great president, even though that would mean likely we wouldn't be doing this, either that or we wouldn't win.
Based.
But if he were a great president and our country was doing well and we were respected throughout the world and we wouldn't have all of what's happening in our cities, our Democrat-run cities are really going to hell. They're going to hell. When you look at stores being looted by hundreds of people that run into the stores and run out with television sets, and our great policemen aren't allowed to do anything. They want to, but they're not allowed. They don't want to lose their families. They don't want to lose their sons and daughters and their houses and their pensions and all of that, and they could stop it very quickly. And we just allow them to roam in and roam out. Everybody's out there.
Well, that was a good moment by Donald Trump saying, I think he was completely honest there. He was like, if Donald Trump, if Joe Biden was a great president, I wouldn't be running. I think he was being 100. That's off script. That's off teleprompter. I think he was being a 100 with it. And this is Joe Biden, just walking away like an old, dementia-ridden, Alzheimer's, struggling with old man that shouldn't be leading anything.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, was there an intelligence
He's just trying not to
failure
trip.
in the lead up to this attack? Mr. President, can you tell us what TV asked you specifically for support?
That's sad right there. That's just his moments don't look good. Maybe those happened with other presidents and just more in tune with it now. Like walking away like that, I don't remember it. Even with Reagan. I was playing clips of Reagan when he was suffering with whatever, as he was getting older, he had the same type of thing. He was way more lucid than Joe Biden. Compared to Joe Biden, you couldn't tell that Reagan was even, suffering. But here's a thread for people who don't understand. This is from Christina Pushaw, who I like. I know a lot of people have been against her. I don't know. I hate that but I'm a big X user, and she's just one of the best on X. And to see this DeSantis Trump thing, throw it to like everybody getting against her, man, she should be on Trump's team. I hope she comes to Trump's team after this DeSantis thing falls apart. So, but they're looking at it, the $6 billion. So some people were trying to clean up the $6 billion because it's a problem. It's a problem. You gave $6 billion to Iran, and now all this stuff is happening. So Jennifer Griffin says those who are saying the $6 billion that was a part of the American hostage release negotiated by Joe Biden likely fueled the Hamas invasion are missing some key facts. None of the money has been spent yet. It remains in a Qatari bank under U.S. Treasury watch. This bro right here, Gabriel Nerona, said Iran normally has to allocate its limited foreign exchange reserves for food, medicine months in advance to facilitate trade flows. Not anymore. Iran can now devote $6 billion of its unrestricted funds towards financial operations, logistical support for terror proxies, including Hamas. So what we're seeing is that they can. So it's just common sense. And this is a whole good thread. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here. I'm going to wrap up. And what I'm going to end with is it's weird how all this stuff is happening in the world. And there's one place where it's not happening. One country, Australia went crazy, is going crazy. Canada, Iran, of course, Ukraine, all of them. And the one place where it's not, it's China. Why is that? So this is a clip here that I've played before.
中华民族是具有强烈民族自豪感和自信心的民族。
So this is Xi Jinping saying that intimidated by the threat of power and force,
和自信心的民族。中国人民
the Chinese people are a people with strong sense of pride and self-confidence. We have never bullied,
其他国家人民
oppressed, or enslaved the people of any other country.
过去没有，
Not in the past, during the present, or in the future.
将来也不会有。
This is the president. This is, I forget what year this is. 2021, right there. So none of this madness is happening in China. They're not having problems with their border. They're not popping off wars. They're not sending money to countries to fuel the wars. Russia trying to get money from them. China's like, we can do deals, but keep looking. Because they don't play. That's not a country you're going to mess with. And I am for a strong defense. And it's working for China. I just think it's something to think about. Let me know what you think.